Hey everyone, recording a quick video for you on how to use our Pristine TradingView indicators to become a better trader. So let's take a look at this through the lens of ONDS, and I'm going to do this exercise with you. ONDS has been a super performing stock over the last few months. If we had bought this stock on August 4th when it broke out of its monthly value area, let's measure and see what the return would have been to today's close. 145.84%. Wow, and this is over the span of about a month and a half where the stock moved up 145%. Now, most traders, what they do is they see stocks like this, they go, man, I wish I would have been in this stock, and then they just move on to the next thing. But you can use TradingView's replay feature to actually see what it would have looked like in real time when you should have actually bought the stock. Now, quick observation on my chart, this purple line that you can see is the 10-day exponential moving average. Now, one thing I noticed right off the bat when looking at this chart is that as soon as this stock broke out from this monthly value area, it never had a close below that 10-day EMA. So if you had purchased the stock right here and you use that close below the 10-day EMA as a stop, you would still have been in this trade and you would have captured this full 145% move. But now let's use that replay feature and let's make some observations about what the market looked like and what the chart looked like on that day. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click replay, and then I'm going to select, we'll select July 29th. And let's take a few steps forward. So we're going to step forward. This is the day that we retested that monthly value area. Another step, and this is pretty interesting. You can see that as we bounced off of that monthly value area, the volume run rate was 134.6%. Now we move forward. Now for me, given that I like to buy stocks right as they're reclaiming that 50-day simple moving average, and I really try to catch things early, at the outset, I might think, hey, buying a stock when the MAX is at a 5.1, that might be a little bit too extended from that 50-day simple moving average. So maybe in my playbook, I don't really do that. But it is interesting to see that a great spot to actually buy this stock was when it was indeed at that 5.1 MAX. We can see on this day that it broke out from the monthly value area, the month-to-date alpha was 26.2%. So this thing was already at a significant month-to-date alpha. The MAX was pretty significant. And if we look at our stage analysis on both time frames, we see the stock was clearly above all the key moving averages. Now, we also see, looking at the low of day extension, what this is telling us is that from where the stock closed, the stock made a 1.6 ATR move above the low of the day. Looking specifically at this candle, we can see that the stock pretty much opened on the lows and it closed on the highs. And the daily closing range was literally right at the top, 100%. Now, what else do we notice here? Looking at our volume indicator, which is completely free, the volume run rate on this day was 194.7%. So maybe you take a look at this and go, hey, when it comes to monthly value area breakouts, I really want to pay attention to ones where the volume run rate is above 100%. And I want to pay really close attention to the ones where the daily closing range is right at the top. And then you might say, hey, moving forward, I'm not going to exclude something just because the MAX is at a 5.1. Now, the other interesting thing is I added our Pristine Breadth indicator, which is also completely free, up to the top here. You just have to be a free subscriber to our email list. And we can see that on the day that ONDS broke out, we had 80.1% advancers and only 20% decliners. So it could also be a good signal that, hey, when you're looking to buy these breakouts, it always helps when market breadth is very strong. Now let's take a look. We can see the float rotation was pretty high at 51.3%. And as we play this chart through, we can see that even on days when the breadth of the market was mixed, this stock was still making its advance. And we can see the month-to-date alpha is all the way at 56.9%. and we keep stepping forward. Now, on a candle like this, one might go, oh man, this thing had a poor daily closing range. This is probably where I would take my position off. But it is important to remember, if this thing isn't violating any of the key moving averages, it can still move forward. So let's take a look. The MAX got all the way up to 11.1 on this advance, and there was a pullback. So again, if you wanted to capture the entire move, you would have to be eating some of these pullbacks. There is no free lunch in trading. As we keep stepping forward, this is a candle I really think would shake out a lot of people. When you see this thing close right on the low of the day, this candle, I was actually looking at this stock and I really considered entering a position, but I did not. So for me, as someone that was looking at the stock in real time, it is pretty interesting to see, hey, if I would have trusted my gut here, that probably would have been a good entry. And then you can see we took out this VPOC. The replay feature does make these VPOCs a little bit wonky, but that's okay. And then, yeah, we can see that this thing, no matter what the market was doing, whatever the market breadth was, it really just continued the powerful advance. And that brings us to the present. Now, the other thing that is pretty cool to see when it comes to this breakout is if we look at this day, August 4th, when we had that monthly value area breakout, we can also jump out to the weekly chart. And remember, this weekly chart is showing us the yearly value area. And so what I also see when looking back, of course, with 2020 hindsight, is that that monthly value area breakout also coincided with this thing breaking out from the yearly value area. So another gem you might take from this is, hey, a signal could be stronger if you're simultaneously breaking out from value on multiple time frames. So that's really how I would go about looking at a past winner. Using this replay feature is pretty awesome, and using our proprietary tools makes it even better, where you get more insight as to what the market was doing and what the stock was doing. If you're interested in using our tools, I highly recommend navigate to tools.pristinecapital.net. And when you are at checkout, you can use this promo code Pristine Community and you can get 20% off of the purchase. It is pretty phenomenal that this technology is available for this price. Hope this has been helpful. Take care.